This was kind of, I didn't see this coming. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, right.
But then it made perfect sense as well because he's like, well, we'll grab all the tech, take it from the other places, and then we'll take it from.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip Around Multiverse with your host, the man who found out that if you put a cockroach in a burger, it's the best meal you're ever going to have, Carl Charles, and
the man who is malnourished and very skinny suddenly touches water and hulks up, CY Chung.
And today we are reviewing possibly the last film in the DCEU before Super Reboot and more confusion. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. That's what it's called, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to say, non-spoilers.
Yeah, non-spoilers.
I enjoyed it. It's big, it's bombastic, it's loud, it's dumb fun. Good, dumb fun.
Well, and this is what I think. Like, just like the first Aquaman film, what Aquaman films should be like. They shouldn't be some like dark, gritty, everyone's depressed sort of movie. It should be like, light-hearted. There's stakes,
Yeah, I will say Jason Momoa's Aquaman is not like I would picture Aquaman at all. However, he pulls it off like with his charisma and drive and charm. I have to say. Yeah, I get this Aquaman. I get this version of him.
Same.
Not like when the DCEU did their version of the Flash, where I was like, I don't, or Lex Luthor, and I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, this kind of because of the bad media portrayals Aquaman had before this.
Yes,
I think this is the only sort of way you could really go with Aquaman if you want him in like movies. Because Super Friends kind of ruined him for everyone for years. So this was kind of like a refresh for their character, and you can like, oh, okay, I can get behind this guy,
Yeah. Did you ever watch Entourage?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was all. I remember that.
I never watched it, but what I know is that they was making the whole point of that was to make it, they were making an Aquaman movie.
Yeah, and he was casted Aquaman. Yeah, it was a whole big thing. Yeah. I didn't really enjoy it.
And then it did make $1 billion at the box office. So it was like, oh, whoa, what do you know?
Yeah, but Entourage is a show, in my opinion, that hasn't aged well. But anyway.
But yeah, okay, so what's your non-spoiler opinions of the movie?
I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the first Aquaman film. I enjoyed this one because I like the villain in the first film, the villains in the first film, and I enjoyed the villain in this film.
Okay.
Because technically, it's only one villain, really.
Well, yeah.
Technically, but then he. But
Technically, it's one. Yeah, but it's two.
It's two, but then one again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
I enjoyed that character, the villain arc as well. It was like not it's like predictable is not a bad thing, right? They knew where they were heading, and that's the way they were going. Yeah,
and I don't feel like Black Manta got like jobbed out or anything. It kind of all made sense.
Yeah.
I liked the overall story. I did think it was going to go a dark way, but it didn't. I was quite happy it didn't go that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I was expecting it to it headed a direction of that way.
Yeah, I'm just glad it didn't, because
that'd have been too. Well, look, as it was this last movie of DCU, I thought they were going to just go, oh, sod it, let's go out with a blaze of glory. Yeah.
But then that's a bit too. I don't know. I think if they went with a blaze of glory, then they'll be like. The Snyderverse haters will be like, see, look what they did, blah blah blah.
Yeah, it is true. Now I'm thinking about it, and the movie couldn't end the way that it did if they did the other thing.
Yeah, which even back when they did that thing in the comics, I was like, even though that happened before, I was like into comics and stuff. I was like, that's a bit too much.
What? So when it looked like it was going to happen, the thing, What did you think?
I was like, oh, please don't, please don't. And they didn't. So I was like, thank God for that. Oh.
Yep, I have to say, I enjoyed Randall Park in this as well, even though he's like, he's a character that's not from the comics. I don't think. Is he?
I don't think. I think.
Well,
he might
that
be.
version of the character, anyways.
Yeah, I think he might be.
Yeah, and our boy Dolph Lundgren in there as well.
Which I was surprised for some reason. I was like, oh, Dolph Lundgren's in this. Cool.
Yeah, he was in the first one, but he didn't necessarily need to not be. You didn't think he might be back in the second one.
Yeah.
But, hey,
just like what's his name's character? What's his face?
The dad?
No.
Ocean
William
Master?
Dafoe's character. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, okay, Dolph Lundgren really isn't evil. But then he was. I was like, oh, okay, good on him. Yes.
Yep. Okay. So yeah. Well, I guess we'll go into spoiler territory because, I mean, I want to say this: that look, there's nothing bad. Well, yeah, it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable, right? It's entertaining. It's enjoyable. There might be things that you nitpick afterwards when you watch it a good couple of times, but when you sit there. Just go like in the dark with the cinema and all the thing playing in front of you. You just like trying to work out you're looking at how the story finishes. Yeah. Probably afterwards, when you're watching it at home or when you're watching for the second or third time, you'll be like, hold on a minute, why did they do that? But yeah,
but it was alright.
Yeah,
like I said, I really enjoyed it, but I enjoyed the last Aquaman film as well.
Yeah.
I'm more into like the light-hearted stuff, if I'm honest.
Yeah. It's got a better kind of chill vibe to it.
Yeah.
Than the Snyder version of the Snyder part of these films.
Yes. When they're like, oh wow, everything needs to be dark and gloomy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're wearing the bright orange chainmail, right? They made it even brighter orange.
Yes. And I thought that was like, amazing.
Okay, yeah. Well, look, I did like they embraced the bright colors, right? But I was like, why do you need to have a 6-pack like engraved into your armor? But then again, they did that in the first one, so yeah, whatever.
The only thing that I was kind of missing in this film for me personally, and for some reason I just love this costume, Ocean Master's costume. I love it a bit. So I think it's like the most comic. That and Black Manta. Yeah, in my opinion,
Black Manta's costume is really cool. I have to say,
they're like the most comic accurate costume.
Though his costume, when he has him and his group have their costume, his group or all this band of people, right? Yeah. He's the only one with the engraved 6-pack on it as well. So like, right, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
And I did think Momoa looked extra big in that Aquaman armor, the orange armor. It was like, wow, that's Hulk size big.
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or they just oversized the armor.
That's what it might have been. That one I was thinking. I don't know. Yeah, it was a bit. Oh wow.
Yeah. He couldn't cross his arms.
Right. He would die.
All right.
Well.
Okay. So on to spoilers, right?
Yes.
So I think it begins with like pirates raising a ship or something like that, right? Yeah. Throwing the crew into containers, or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, and then actually, Aquaman recapping certain bits and pieces, and then talking about himself, and then the pirate ship happens, right? And then he jumps onto he's Aquaman riding on his glowing in the dark massive seahorse.
Yeah, Storm. Yeah.
He jumps off the seahorse, lands on the ship, faces down all the guys.
Yep.
And I'm like, wait a minute, right? Aquaman, he could take a punch from Superman and go flying, right? But that means he can absorb that level of punishment. These guys, right, look like random dudes, not off the street, but and they've got like their iron bars or whatever. I'm like, you guys, you're just better off. You could just give up or shoot him or something like that, but you ain't fighting him.
Yeah, it's like you're asking to die, basically.
Yeah. But then it turns out Arthur Curry is relaying the story of what he does to his son, Arthur Curry Jr., like the little new, the 6-month-old or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I get it. He's hyping it up. He's making it sounding a bit more. Well, more impressed. The situation more impressive than it is. He probably
Yeah.
just battered those people straight up, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he's getting like action figures and showing him what is going on and stuff like that, you know, bang bang and all that, like kicking the enemies flying away. It accidentally then kicks his the sofa that his dad's in.
Yeah, and he's like, "Sorry, Dad." He's like, "Ah."
Yeah, but the dad just no sells it and continues reading his newspaper.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
I thought
It's
that was
like his dad is like, yeah, your antics all the time. It's alright. It's cool.
Yeah, he's just, I'm checked out, so yeah.
Yeah.
I get to live here scot-free, so hey, I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah, and he's all Aquaman's all talking about how he has to divide his attention between the land and the sea and deal with stuff up there and down here at the same time, and how, you know, it's not exactly easy, and he's falling asleep through the council meetings and stuff like that.
And there's that one thing where he wakes up halfway through where they're saying something, he's like, "Yeah, woo, woo, woo," and they're like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. Or there's one bit where there's something deadly serious going on, yeah? His crown falls, it makes a sound. I think if a mirror knocks him or he wakes up from him, he goes, "Oh, yeah, cool, man. Yeah, awesome. No. And they're looking at like, what's going on? Like, what?
Genocide. Oh, okay, you're clapping about that. He's like, "Wait, what?" That's why
yeah.
Kind of felt like, oh, that's a bit much. Okay.
Yeah, but it does show that he's not taking things seriously. At the same time, it does show how that it's not what he was intended when he took over.
Yeah,
it's like, this is not my business. Not that I don't care about it, but it's just like I'm not a king that runs the place like this, you know.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because you can't explain it later. It's like, yeah, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Then Black Manta goes to what's he go to? They're working on the Antarctic somewhere.
Yeah.
And they're trying to find Atlantis, but because obviously
trying to find Atlantis or Atlantis related stuff so that he can repair his battle armor.
Yeah, his big-eyed red helmet, his big red-eyed helmet thing.
Yeah, with
the equivalent of Atlantean optic blasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Randall Park is the hostage scientist, essentially.
Yeah,
he's having them look for stuff. They're in the Antarctic, and he's getting these wild readings, and then the ice land splits.
Yeah.
So him and one of the other minions just fall in the gap, like, you know, because they can't outrace the crack. And then something comes out of the ice and grabs the minion. And Randall Park then sends a signal to David Kane, who is Black Manta.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to go here. Like, here's... Come rescue me is what he's trying to say, yeah? But when David Kane gets there, he's like, "Oh, yeah, Atlantean tech, let's go down there." And Randall Park's like, "Wait, what? That makes no sense. Why would you go into somewhere that I just saw put like a tentacle monster pull someone in?"
Yeah, and he's like, "Well, you know, we made it this far. Don't you want to see to the end?" And he's like, "Okay, I guess."
Well, Randall Park's like, "Not really." And then he just kind of gets a look, and he's like, "Actually, you know what?"
Yeah, silly man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He just got stared into submission, but that's how it is, right?
Yeah. He's like, "Well, I've come this far, you know. I can't really say no."
Yeah.
Because he'll kill me.
Yeah. So, during their exploration in the crack the crack or wherever it is.
Yeah.
David Kane. What they get attacked by something, right? Some sort of octopus something.
Yeah,
right?
they get attacked by some sort of like kraken, like octopus thingamajig, and then
who conveniently, by the way, kills a whole bunch, two of the other guys in the exploration.
Yeah,
and just knocks Black Manta, David Kane flying. He's not even in his Black Manta armor, by the way.
No,
he just sends him flying conveniently near a trident, which is a black trident, right?
Yeah, in two parts. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put these parts together, and then it turns glowy green, sort of whatever,
Yeah.
and then he sees like the flashes of the entity that's possessed the trident, which also is trying to possess him now.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that bit in Avengers: Age of Ultron where Thor sees a vision of the future.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you see Black Manta killing Aquaman and all the other people, and he's like, and this entity saying, "Yeah, I can give you everything you want if you help me." So he's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yes, yeah, yeah. Well, it's funny things because then he's in the water, right? Having these flashes, and then the screen goes black, and all of a sudden, when you hear Randall Park's voice waking him up, right? It's like he pulls out a knife. David Kane is like, yeah, I'm gonna shank someone. What? Yeah, what was that about?
Yeah,
so he's like,
dude, calm down.
Yeah, exactly. We got you out there. We'll go out there, but he's like. All huffing it up and like what the hell happened? Did he black out? I'm like, wow, yeah, that is something, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden he goes, yeah, by the way, blah, 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 blah. And then Randall Park's like, okay, what?
Yeah,
you know all this how? So like,
yeah. He showed it to me. He showed it to me. Yeah.
And then we kind of flash forward 5 months, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. And Aquaman is still not liking being king.
Yes.
His child's got slightly older, and this way he finds out his son can also talk to fishes. He's like, oh wow, that's cool. I can finally share this with someone. I don't feel alone.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, plot point later on.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, actually, but I would have been saddened if they didn't follow it up.
Yeah,
like,
same.
Yeah, so it was like, yeah, okay, you made it pretty obvious that it's going to be relevant somehow, right?
Yeah. It was kind of subtle as well. It wasn't like blatantly evil.
Yeah.
Like, it's because this bit kind of reminded me of the bit in Looper where they're like, at the beginning, randomly, oh, by the way, some people just happen to have telekinesis. You're like, okay.
Yes.
And then never spoke of ever again until the end.
Yep. Exactly.
So they kind of like better in this, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah. So then that's happening, and then I can't really remember.
So they're watching a thing on global warming. The news on global warming.
Yeah.
And how ice caps are melting and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And they're like, oh, why is this happening? Of course, because and why is there popular parts of Atlantis that are kind of getting
ill? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and this is when we find out that Willem Dafoe's character died from this plague that's going around, which is caused by this global warming and stuff. And, And
so then we go to follow David Kane again, who's so they have from where they found that where they thought when they were following the signal to Atlantis, it wasn't Atlantis itself. It was a part of Atlantis, which the Lost Kingdom, right? We'll call it what it is. Yeah. Banished for all time for a specific reason or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They got Atlantean tech there, and they were like, all right, we'll use this to break into all the places that have the
unobtainium, joking.
Yeah. But basically, it is, isn't it? Or the vibranium.
Yeah.
Right. The orcalinium,
something like that. Yeah.
Orchilium. Well, I'm just gonna say it like that. I don't know if it's like that. Anyways, they're like, oh yeah, now we've broken into many places and we've stolen many orchilium.
Yeah.
So now we've got to go and steal the biggest stash of them all because we were just waiting for the big job. Yep.
Yeah.
Of course, where they're going is Atlantis.
Yeah. Okay. This was kind of, I didn't see this coming. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, right.
But then it made perfect sense as well because he's like, well, we'll grab all the tech, take it from the other places, and then we'll take it from main Atlantis. Like I think they hit the smaller parts of Atlantis, but they actually hit where the King's Throne area is. The main part where why would you go there?
Yeah, because I like the bit when they kind of get caught, And then Black Manta goes, we're gonna need extraction, and then you see their big ship, like, oh, it's Atlantis. Okay. Oh, this is where business gonna pick up, and
So they, So initially they stealth in there, but then they've got this chameleon octopus that is the like the Watcher or something like that.
Yeah.
And it sends a signal to Atlantis that a break-in's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, all right, like you said, they got the big ship to shoot sonic signals or something like that, and to hit the Atlanteans.
Yeah.
In their tech ships or whatever you want. Somehow it goes through their ships, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somehow.
And they even Black Manta is like not bothered to deal with Aquaman at that point. No. But he's like, oh, I'll deal with I'll fight Mera though.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that's
she's
like, I'm gonna go and kill a mermaid, and then Aquaman's not there yet. Mera.
Yeah.
So he wants to go and kill Mera.
Yeah.
She puts up a fight, and then he does his optic blast. And
Yep. Singes like her torso and everything. I was like, oh, okay. So
this is what I thought.
Are they gonna?
Yeah.
Well, I thought, okay. So if they're not gonna kill the sun, they're gonna kill her, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought, especially with the whole, public perception of her.
Yeah. But as far as the story goes, I thought, okay, he's gonna murder someone, right? So he'll probably murder her, and Queen Atlanta's there as well, doing stuff. Still probably murder her as well.
Yeah,
or he'll murder both.
One or the other. Yeah.
Yeah, both at the same time, even. Yeah, one goes to block the other. I don't know, right? But I was like, Black Manta's there in his gear. He's enhanced by the trident. He's gonna try and murder someone, right?
Yeah.
But no, he doesn't. It's a family-friendly movie, so it's like, okay, fine.
He goes to stab her, but then Aquaman comes flying in.
Yeah.
He's like, no, and they start fighting. And this one,
a little bit. Yeah, they have a little bit of a tussle, and then Black Manta's like, nah, this ain't the time or the place. Laters.
Like, to go. So he's like, okay, I can't kill Aquaman now. See you.
Yeah, exactly. You're lucky. It's like pointing at him, going, "Oh, you, if only." Yeah.
Yeah, because then because he does his harpoon to get onto the ship that's leaving, and Aquaman chases him.
Yeah.
Then he sees like a I want to say a public bus. I don't know.
The equivalent of a train.
Yeah.
So in Atlantis, but not.
Derails that sort of. So then, I was about to say Batman. Aquaman has to stop it, and he stops that. Because either he follows Black Manta or he saves these people. So he saves people because he's Aquaman.
Yeah, and I think he tries to chase them through. No. I'm sorry. So I'm thinking of later on. Because there's another one.
Yeah.
So and then is this when he's like, okay, well, the only person that knows anything of us that knows information about Black Manta. Oh no! This is when they talk about the Orchillium. Yeah,
and then Aquaman's like, so no one's ever told anyone about this?
Yeah. Queen Atlanta's like, well, that we essentially, because we're Atlanteans, right, and we're the Marvel version of Wakanda. This vibranium, right?
Yeah.
Just tell him what the Orchillium does and stuff like that, and how it was harmful to. Atlanteans used it for a while, and then they found it was harmful to the atmosphere and to themselves, especially.
Yeah.
So they're like global warming and all that stuff. And then Aquaman's like, all right, 2 and 2 together. This is that global warming, all the ice caps and all that stuff that's happening on the surface is because of this substance that you guys had down here all this time. And they're like, oh, is that what was happening up there? Because we don't go up there. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Locked off in the world. Yeah.
And he's like, well, that's the problem with you people.
Yeah.
Because if we just shared our technology, we'll be all cool, right? And everyone everyone help each other.
Which he has a point. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same sort of point that T'Challa makes in Black Panther.
Yeah. So then Dolph Lundgren's like, yeah.
Yeah. And then
shrug.
And then Aquaman takes this to the council, like, we should talk to the humans, then maybe, we can reverse the damage that both of us have done now to the atmosphere. They're like,
Yeah.
no, the only way we're gonna go up to the humans is we're gonna eradicate them. And he's like, that's a bit much. All right.
Yes, that's kind of like,
Yeah.
that's kind of racist, man.
Yeah, that's an extreme. All right, cool. So then he goes back to his mum and Dolph Lundgren, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna need to do something about this." And I think one person knows where Black Manta would be, and he's, at arrest. He's in prison somewhere, and he goes, "Okay, cool. We're gonna have to go and save. We're gonna have to go and rescue my brother. Well, not rescue, but break him out." And they're like, "Oh well, if if the council family did this, they're gonna,
Yeah.
declare war on you and all that stuff." He goes, "Well, they're not gonna know it's me," and so he goes stealth and that stuff. Which is
They give him the Aquaman. I want to say that is it the 90s suit? The blue kind of water looking suit.
I think it is a 90s one, isn't it? Yeah, before he gets the other one.
Yeah. Is that the suit where he had the liquid hand?
I think that's after, isn't it?
Okay.
No, I think you might be right.
Well, when did he get the hook?
He gets the hook in the. That's in the early 90s, right? When he gets the hook. That's when he grows out the hair and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's around then. So I think he gets the liquid hand after the hook.
Yeah. But does he get the blue suit after that?
I think so.
Now I think about it, that blue suit doesn't look much like the actual the suit, but
No. Wait, what?
Yeah. It gives. I don't know why. By the way, there were 6-packs kind of on that as well, painted on that. It's like, well, okay, if you know,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, okay, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so they're like, "Okay, cool. You go and rescue your brother." And his mum's like, "Can you tell your brother, tell him I love him, and when I always think about him."
Yeah.
And then we see.
Wait, and take the invisible, the chameleon octopus bro with you as well.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, really? Okay."
Okay.
So then they they tell us where Ocean Master being kept with these Atlanteans that somehow adapted to being on Earth.
I actually thought it was like the Desert Kingdom or something like that.
Yeah, they're saying it used to be water, then it dried out, but then they evolved to be able to.
Okay, that makes sense.
But then it deformed them to be what they are now.
Well,
okay,
I mean, it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
Generations adaptation, how it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some creatures evolve and some creatures devolve. So
yeah,
the chickens used to be massive, and now look at them.
Yeah. I was like, okay, cool. That makes sense in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, Aquaman sneaks in. We see what Ocean Master looks like now. Like you said, he has some long hair, beard, and he's like super skinny.
He's like a pre-serum Steve Rogers.
Yeah, and they basically give him enough water for him to live, but not to be able to murder them. So basically, yeah.
Like the guy in the prison, he'd open the little slide and he'd just get his paper cup and he'd drop it on the floor, and then he'd point at Ocean Master from the outside of the cell and laugh at him while Ocean Master's trying to sip the water that's on the floor. And then they open a cell and beat him up because that's how you're gonna do.
Yeah, because he did nothing really, but
Yeah. Yeah. So they beat him up a little bit, and then they just. I think the octopus slides in, he's very malleable, right?
Yeah.
You seen that, by the way? Random tangent, but is to do with this. You ever seen how octopus is getting boxes?
No. Wait. I've seen these weird videos like octopuses getting into weird spaces and stuff.
Yeah. There was a plastic box and there was one hole in it, and the octopus went into, and he just kind of slid himself into the box. Like he's got no bones or anything like that, because even though you're like, why would you go into that space? It's kind of whatever, right?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Sure.
Anyways, yeah. So that octopus, he's opening stuff and he's opening doors for Invisible Aquaman to.
Yeah.
The chameleon suit Aquaman to walk around in. Even though I understand if it's covering all your body and it goes invisible, yeah. But why is it covering your head?
Magic. Oh no.
Yeah. Why if you had something that was putting over your face, fine.
Yeah.
But no, he just touches the button and apparently everything goes invisible. Anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, the gas starts coming into the chamber where Ocean Master's been kept. Bodies start flying everywhere, and then Aquaman's like, "Yeah, bro, I'm here to rescue you," and he's like, "Are you an idiot?
Yeah.
Don't you know there's a treaty going on here? I can't break out." And Aquaman, Jason Momoa is like, "Well, you know what? We got to get going because times are wasting."
Yeah, you're needed.
Yeah, and the alarms are going off. So you could either be trapped here forever, or wherever I decide to come and get you next, which might be never, or you can come with me now, right? Because the world is actually in danger, and the kingdom that you are ruling, that I rule now, but we both want to survive. It might die.
Yeah, so he's like, oh no, my kingdom needs me, so he
yeah
does what you got to do.
Yeah, so they get out. Using the massive, super evolved caterpillar-looking creature, ant-looking creatures.
Yeah.
Burst out of the sand. And then Aquaman's like, Orm's like, okay, did you bring in water? And he's like, yeah, but I drank it all because
I got thirsty.
It's the desert. I got thirsty. And Orm's like, you're an idiot.
Calling him little brother, and he's like, don't call me that.
Yeah. And so they trying to make their escape to the ocean area, and Aquaman, then all the horde of some of the troops of the desert people coming after them, the desert creatures. Yeah. And Aquaman's like, look, you want your waters over there? You get over there. I'll distract them over here. Yeah. I'll fight them a little bit. But yeah. So he's dealing with them while Ocean Master's got people chasing him. Ocean Master's kind of like stumbling and falling. It just makes it like his hand touches the water, but then he's like flopped on the floor.
Yeah.
And then all the desert people walk over to Ocean Master while a wave conveniently goes over him. Yep. And then they attempt to stab him in the water, which he then grabs their tridents and he's like, no, shank. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
He's murdering them, but
he only murders like two of them.
Oh yeah. I was like, okay, lethal, non-lethal wounds. When you're stabbing something right through someone else.
Yeah.
And they're not moving afterwards.
It's either them or me.
Yeah. And then he goes to help Aquaman, and then he's then they see the horde of desert people creatures coming after them. Like, you know what? Let's just go in the ocean and get away from them.
Yeah.
Let's run. And then I was like, okay, I know that there was a joke about this later on, but I don't know if you noticed that at the time. You know when Ocean Master was running?
Yeah.
And his arms were like at the side like a penguin.
He was Naruto running, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I don't. What was that about?
I found that hilarious because it makes sense. Though. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, at the time, I was like, okay, are they deliberately? Is this a deliberate thing, or is this a choice? Yeah.
Yeah,
turns out it was a deliberate thing.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah. So yeah. So and then Orm's like, So David Kane, yes, I helped him. He was a ruthless man, right? But he wasn't stupid and he wasn't vengeful like this. He wasn't going to go and destroy the world, right? And then Aquaman's like, yeah, little brother, why would you even,
Yeah.
Why would you want to destroy everything? Because that's what's happening right now,
Yeah.
Then Orm's like, all right, well, I don't know where he is, but I can get someone who does know where he is.
Yeah. So they go to the nowhere, basically, of the sea.
Yeah. The cantina of scum and villainy.
Yeah.
Like from Star Wars.
Yep.
Yeah, so where all the underworld criminals and stuff do their dirty dealings, and then Aquaman's like, why don't I know nothing about this? And he goes, and Orm's like, well, I knew stuff about this, but you have to pretend not to know because that's kind of the nudge wink deal we got with them. And Aquaman's like, I don't know about that no more.
Okay.
Yeah, so Orm's like, well, that's why I did not tell you about this place. Or you're gonna go there and start smashing stuff because that's how you work things
that's
out.
How you roll, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to play the political game, you know.
Yep.
So they're trying to deal with the guy who looks like Jabba the Hutt, but not really Jabba the Hutt. Yeah. And then that Jabba the Hutt's like laughing at them, going, "Nah, I don't have to do nothing with you guys. You are in my place. You understand, right? With all these criminals." Yeah. And then Aquaman's like, "Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, right? I can make you a deal right here. Yeah, the best deal you're gonna get. The best deal you're gonna get is, if you tell me where David Kane is, then immediately after we deal with him, I won't come back here right away and destroy your stuff."
Yeah.
Right. And they laugh at him, and then Norm's like,
"You know what?
Yeah,
do what you gotta do. Do your thing."
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So Aquaman starts fighting the bodyguards. He starts, and Orm then has to go and start doing stuff as well, right?
Yeah.
And Aquaman swims over, gets like a underwater helmet and stuff like that, and he slams it on top of the guy.
Yeah.
On top of the Jabba the Hutt looking guy, right? It doesn't look like Jabba the Hutt, but the criminal master or whatever, right? And then he starts pressing the button for the oxygen to fill up the helmet while the water's going down. And the guy's like all blabbering, no, I'll tell you everything I know. I'll tell you exactly where David Kane is, or where we think he is. I don't know exactly if he's there or not,
Yeah.
We only got third-hand information. While Aquaman's still draining the thing on his helmet, right? And then after they get information, Orm's like, "All right, let's get out of here. We got to go, Arthur, right now." And so then Arthur then punches the helmet, so it cracks. So so Jabba can, the water flows in the helmet, and then they fly off. And not fly off. They swim off.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And then they go back into a ship and then go to the island.
Yeah, Devil's Island, right?
Yeah. And then while this is going on, what's his name? Randall Park. He's kind of having second thoughts about doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
and
seeing as David Kane's like getting more and more
extreme.
He's like, this guy's weirding me out.
Yeah, he's gone a bit. He's going a bit too far. First it was just like for bants, but now it's a bit.
He's getting possessed. That trident is like doing stuff to him.
Yep. So then Black Man's like, "Oh yeah, no, you can go, but would you survive in that jungle?" And then you hear like some monsters from the Godzilla universe just doing their thing outside, and he's like, "You know what? I'll stay."
Yeah.
So you can tell he's having his second thoughts.
Yeah.
And I think it might be here a bit later on where he walks past and he finds him talking to himself. When he's talking to the entity inside the trident, and that's when Brandon Paul's like, "You know what? Yeah, it's a hard out for me. I need to,
I need to figure out how to
leave."
Yeah. So Arthur and Orm would get to Devil's Island, but then everything around them, like the grass and the flowers and everything, start looking bigger and bigger and bigger. They look smaller. Yeah. And like, okay, something's a bit weird here. Yeah. And then they encounter, like, you see a dead body of a giant rat.
Oh wait, but before that, because it's come back to like near the end, Arthur's going to him. "So, have you ever had like burgers and beers?" And then Orm's like, "I don't understand words you're saying."
Cheeseburgers, extra greasy beers, all the surface stuff that you never had, but you're blazing it, you're hating them, and you don't understand them.
Yeah, and Norman's just like, I don't understand half the words coming in your mouth,
But he's like, well, do you think that they will think that they think that same way about you, probably, right? So you gotta change your thought process.
Yeah, and he's like, oh no, redemption, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And then Arthur's like, look, this is the stuff they eat there. Look, let me have this, right? It's a cockroach. Yeah. Gives it to him.
Which I think he gave it to him as a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He crunched the head of the cockroach. And so when I was watching, right, There was a bunch of kids, but probably from like late primary school or something like that, because their teachers were with them. But because I was watching it early. And they when Orm was eating it, they were like, ugh!
I had one kid behind me was like, man. I was like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, if you spice up dead cockroaches, you can't eat them actually. So it's not like I've had a scorpion before.
Mm.
It was crunchy.
Yeah.
Boy, it was. But all you're really eating is shell. So yeah.
Okay.
There's not really meat to it.
Yeah.
It's only because probably it was alive and it was still moving. Anyways, yeah. And then Aquaman's like, yeah, man, bro, yeah.
Then he goes to the
this
coconut, and then it's all like tar inside. Like that's not right.
Yeah, and Orm's like, maybe you should have some of that first.
Even Aquaman's like, that doesn't seem right, and then it makes sense. Everyone's like, oh, okay, yep, this plan.
Yeah. So they come across the body of a dead giant rat, and they're like, okay, what's up with that? And then they see all flies, like the cockroaches, or no, not giant mutated. What do you want to call them?
I don't know. I think it was
in some sort of insect, right?
Insects, yeah. I want to. They weren't grasshoppers. Well, it was something anyway. Yeah, made up insect, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, eating the body of coming from the eating side of that rat, and then they started chasing Orm and Arthur because they're like, we gotta go, we gotta get out of here.
They have the taste for meat, for flesh. Yeah.
And this is where. This is where Orm is still doing the Dorito running, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you doing?
I've never had to run before. I don't know what this is.
Yeah. And then Arthur's like, look, you use your arms up and down like this. And then as soon as Orm gets to do it, he's just blazing in front of Arthur. And Arthur's like, yeah.
Because it looks so easy. Like, oh, okay. He just like flies up, like runs off. And they're like, wait, what? How are you faster than me? I'm confused. I thought that was hilarious. Oh.
Yeah. And then they get to like a cliff edge, and they're like, "Oh no, what are we gonna do? We're not gonna take the jump because we don't know what's in that water, right?" So then there's some sort of Atlantean writing somewhere which Arthur doesn't understand. He's like, "What's that mean to Orm?" And Orm's like, "A real king builds bridges or something like that."
Yeah.
And then Arthur's like, "Oh yeah, I'll show you what we're gonna do." He runs up like a good about 500 feet away, charges forward and shoulder barges that the statue, the massive statue.
Yeah.
Which, as it's falling, I was like, okay, so what's going to happen is, logically speaking, right? It's going to create a bridge as part of the story. But I was like, so what it's going to do is fall and then it's going to hit the other cliff edge, which is kind of sharp, right?
Yeah.
And the head area is going to land there. So wouldn't that just break? Because that neck area is probably weak.
In the real world, yes.
Yeah. But because if it landed on the shoulder, fine, it could crack a bit and then it can settle, right?
Yeah.
Or that it'll go past a bit of the cliff edge, which is could get broken. Anyways, they're like, woohoo! They jump across, they make it, and then like after like, Orm, come over here, help me push the statue off, so these things don't come at me.
Yeah.
At us, sorry, yeah. Right, and so they push it off, it falls off, and then the one leader of the grasshoppers, whatever, jumps just as the statue is falling, flying towards the Aquaman, right? And then Arthur punches it in the face.
Yeah.
And he's like, high five, little brother.
Don't call me that.
Yeah, exactly. Orm's like, nah. Let's just go and get this. Let's go and get this stuff done. And then you can put me back in that prison. Because then the desert people won't try to say that you broke the treaty.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, oh, Orm. Yeah.
So they go to the Devil's Island base. Very stealthily, by the way. Somehow, it's the cave, whatever they're doing in the cave, right? They see that they're burning the unobtainium, yeah?
Yeah.
And then sending it into the water to heat up the world, yeah? The global warming stuff. Which is what's killing the Atlanteans. Or poisoning them, yeah?
Yeah, and messing up the world. Yeah. The land, yeah.
Yeah, so Orm's got a gun. It took one of the guns from the guards that they beat up, and then Arthur's like, all right, this is what we're going to do. He walks in there and he just starts punching guards in the heads.
Yeah, he's like, oh, okay.
All right, so you're hitting their armored heads, and you're not making any clanging sounds, and no one's turning around, and it's a big, cave area with echoes and stuff. I don't know.
Man?
I was like, okay, well, I suppose, yeah, I would have just assumed that you choke people out, right?
Too easy. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Punch them, but no one makes any sounds. I guess because the machinery. Here's the thing. Probably in the world of the movie, the machinery is going on. Yeah, so no one can hear anything.
Yeah.
But in the world of the outside of that, when we're listening to everything, the sounds are happening with nothing to cover them. So I was like, oh, it's a bit okay, right. Anyways, they take care of a couple of guards. They get to the real base area.
Yeah.
They beat up a couple more guards.
Yeah.
And they're like looking at the furnace thing and go controls and go, all right, what are we gonna do? And then Randall Park pops in there.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna kill you guys. Basically, he says that, and then press the button for the door. And the door shut. Goes, oh, thank you. I had to pretend that I wasn't in on this. So we need to stop this.
Yeah.
And he basically says, yeah, that because he forgot a bit as well where he touched the spear as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he saw all the nutcase stuff. The
entity that was possessing, trying to possess Orm and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, he's gone real powerful, right? But he's also gone real nutty. And if he destroys everything, like, he'll kill everything to kill you.
Yeah.
And I don't want no part of that because I live in this world. So
yeah, he's like, I just want to see Atlantis, and now I'm way over my head now. Basically.
Yeah. Yeah, so and he's going to explain exactly what they need to do to destroy the furnace. Yeah. The door blows.
Yeah.
Right, send them flying, and then they go flying out of the glass panes.
Yeah.
They have to fight a couple of guards, and they have to fight the Atlantean swimming tech from 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Because one of the Black Manta's second in command is controlling it.
Yeah. And then
so they use their surroundings like the hooks and lifting equipment and stuff like that to fight. So I was like, okay, kind of cool. Yeah. Orm using an anchor to swing around and tie the legs of the thing together.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, why is Orm so why is why is Arthur so much more powerful than Orm here? And I was like, well, actually, what makes sense is, first of all, Orm just recently got his powers back, so fair enough. And secondly, he's not a hybrid like Arthur, so he's probably weaker out of water, much longer, because Arthur's doing a lot more stronger things.
Yeah.
So I was like justifying it in my head because I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, oh yeah. Orton is strong and everything, but he's probably not like you said because Aquaman's a hybrid.
Yeah. And so then they take care of that. They're like, all right, now we're going to destroy the furnace. And that's when Black Manta appears. He's like, nah, you boys ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
And then he starts fighting both of them. Well, they didn't really start fighting both of them. I thought, okay, man's got really powerful now. He is actually going to fight both of them.
Well, I like this bit because Orm goes like, oh, it's just Black Manta. And then Aquaman's like, yeah, he's stronger now. He doesn't need the power suit. He goes, yeah, now whatever. He runs up to him. And Black Manta just like gives him one right hook, and then you see Orm just go
sliding across the floor, right?
Yeah, and he's like, he's all stiffened up, like, oh, so you should listen to your big brother.
Yeah. But that was kind of funny the way that they did it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, say it was didn't make a mockery of Orm, but you're just like, you know what, hey. But then as soon as Black Manta got the trident parts, like took the parts, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna shank you. I was like, no, it's way too early in the movie for someone to get hurt, right?
Yeah.
And you know it's in all these movies where someone gets some sort of blade, right, that can actually cut, and another person's got a blunt weapon.
Yeah.
The blunt weapon person is actually going to hit the guy with the blade more than the other way around because,
logic. Yeah.
Well, movie logic, right? It's like
movie logic. Yeah.
If you got a gun and someone's got a knife, well, you're the one that's going down, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Orm doing pretty decently for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, no, sorry. sorry. Black Manta doing pretty decently for himself.
Mm.
So he knocks Arthur away, and then Orm tries to help him. He blasts Orm, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna finish him for good. Like, if I can't finish Arthur, if I can't finish his wife, and I can't finish his mom, I'm gonna finish his brother."
Yeah.
You know?
Like, oh, okay, come on.
Yeah. And then I think the explosions start happening about on Devil's Island.
Yeah.
And Orm's like, all right, what's going on? Instead of like, all right, I'm gonna shank and then go, what's going on? Because I have him here. It's like, no. Someone's got to. He's got to. Being a villain, right? And they're the heroes. You're the villain. Someone's got to. They got to survive. So whatever, right?
I'll finish this later when it's less convenient. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is where they jump in the water. He hooks onto the ship as well, and then they use the cannon.
Yeah.
Like Aquaman's chasing them, and they use the cannon to then send them flying back.
Yeah. Just before.
And then a whole bunch of rocks and stuff start falling as well from the cannon's abilities.
Yeah. But we did miss out that the reason why the island starts falling apart is because the cavalry come. Because before they go on to Devil Island properly, they send the squid back to tell the Atlanteans where they are.
Well, they'll to delve Dolph Lundgren anyways, right?
Yeah. So then they come. Yeah.
Mm.
That's why the island's falling apart.
Yeah. So, Mera kind of uses their water powers to rescue Aquaman from all the rubble that's fallen upon him.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren, the the Crab King.
Yeah.
There's Dolph Lundgren. There's the Crab King. There's Queen Atlanta. There's Orm. There's Mera, and there's Arthur. Right.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, so, oh no, I forgot to mention as well. Orm grabbed the trident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it him? Yeah.
Yeah, when he was fighting off, when Aquaman was fighting off Black Manta, Orm grabbed the trident and he got the visions.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, now here's the point of the movie where I explain the plot that hasn't been filled in so far.
Yeah.
It's like in Die Hard 4 where Warlock has to
basically fill in everything that we should know by now.
Yeah. So it's like, oh yeah, so King, I forgot his name. Aquaman's granddad?
Yeah. First ruler of Atlantis. I can't remember his name. Yeah.
He had the brother who tried to take over the kingdom, and then they're like, nah. So the brother's like, all right, well, I'm gonna power myself with dark magic because that's how you do, right?
Yeah, you know.
So he turns his part of the kingdom into all these undead shells and everything like that, while trying to fight off his brother.
Yeah. And
then he loses, and then the first ruler of Atlantis clicks his fingers and curses the kingdom to be encased in ice.
Yeah.
For whatever.
For eternity, because, global warming should never happen.
Yeah. Right.
Because they started creating the, whatever it's called. Wait, did they start creating unobtainium gas stuff?
Well, at this point?
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember who created it. Yeah, because they were creating it, and then he was like, "No." Oh
yeah.
So
it's causing us problems. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "You're only saying it because you want a kingdom," and he's like, "No, I'm saying it because you're killing people with it."
Yes. But people, people are going to be blind because they're going to be blind. That's how. Denial, right? It's a strong thing.
Yep.
Greed, denial, and ego.
Yep.
And they're like. So they're like, they need the blood of. They're like, okay, so he's going to try and open it, and he needs the blood of the king to do it, the first ruler of Atlantis to do it. And then Aquaman's like, well, that's fine because Queen Atlanta's here, so I'm here, and Orm, you're here, so
close up the circle, right? And
then... no, he ain't gonna get no blood from none of us. And then they're like, oh no,
because
Arthur Jr.
has a grandchild. I mean, his brother has a kid, isn't it? So he goes, it's locked with us. And then he's like, no, there's another
Oh yeah. Which is funny because when until Orm mentioned it, and I think I said Arthur, but sorry, Orm was pointing out everyone, and until then, that means Arthur never told him that he had a son for like all that time. Anyway,
like when it was like having moments, like, hey, by the way, you're an uncle. That, you know,
yeah, time to shape up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, so then Black Manta, like, so the kid
cool.
is seating, whatever, I can't remember what they call it, the kid seat, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And Aquaman's dad is going to get something, right? The lights
no,
start flickering.
they're watching. I remember.
Yeah.
So they're watching the news, and it's like, yeah, there's power out and blah blah blah. Then the lights go out there. And Granny's like, well, I'd make that whatever on one house is. Let me go get the flashlight. Yeah. So he goes to get the flashlight by the front door because the house is pitch black. Then he gets close to the door, then you see Black Manta's eyes just light up. You're like, ooh. Then he stabs him and goes, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to let you live long enough so your son sees you die. Oh, that's kind of messed up, dude.
Yeah.
Yep. So then he burns down the house, take Aquaman Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was like, ooh, is this going to go where I think it's going to go?
Yeah. Oh, wow. He's going to kill 2 people in the family.
Yeah. So he's taking Arthur Jr. to the Lost Kingdom.
Yeah.
Aquaman and Dolph Lundgren's army.
Yeah.
And the Crab King's the army are heading there, right? Because they're like, well, like you guys are here with me now. We got to deal with it. We can call the Atlantean troops to come and help us whenever they get the chance to, yeah? Like, as in, you know, because they're still got to get themselves together to come towards us, to get to the Lost Kingdom. But we need to stop him now before he starts doing anything, David King, right?
Yeah.
So they all go and, go to the frozen Lost Kingdom, wherever, to go and fight him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, this is all going on. Dolph Lundgren and other guy, Crab King, that still don't trust Orm, so they hand out weapons to like their soldiers, and they give him an axe, and he's like, "All right, you give me an axe, cool, I guess." All right.
yeah. And then the Crab King's like to Orm. Yeah, Dolph Lundgren. No, I'm calling Dolph Lundgren, but that's not his name, right?
Yeah.
But the king really doesn't like you.
Yeah, and he's all loving.
Yeah, you know how it is. In the 80s, when they do like at the end of a cartoon or something, they always have that big guffaw.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So then they make it to the Lost Kingdom.
Yeah.
And so they making their descent through the water and all that, and then they are climbing up to, I want to say, the moat that leads to the castle.
Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute, why is this in an area that has air?
Because this is before the Atlanteans and them got took it to the sea. Remember, because Atlantis was on land and then it got sunk.
Yeah. No, yeah, but because I assumed they swam there because of Black Manta was wearing his armor and stuff like that, right?
Why did they swim there? Because you see a bit where they swim at the bottom, and then that's when they start getting attacked.
Yeah,
and the crab guy,
and then because then Randall Paul was walking there, and I was like, wait a minute, he's not wearing any. Okay,
now they went on one of the flying octopus ship things.
Yeah,
that's how they got there.
Yeah, I just assumed there was an underwater part of it, but then I'm guessing it was just connected to the part that was, the more land-based part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, they get attacked at the bottom, and the crab and these people was like, okay, we'll hold them off down here. You guys go on. So then, so that happens. So then Aquaman, Orm, Dolph Lundgren and that climb up a side of the bridge sort of thing. And then what that tentacle thing grabs the king.
Yes.
And he's like, oh. And then Orm looks down.
Yeah.
And sees it. And then he kind of smiles. And then turns away and like, oh crap, he's gonna betray them.
Yeah.
And then the king's like, oh, I'm about to die. And then as he's about to like let go of the piece of rock and get eaten by this thing, Orm comes, cuts the thing's arm off, and then pulls the king up. And the king's like, oh wow, you're not a dick. All right, here's a gun. I was like, oh okay,
yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he takes a gun from one of his troops and puts it to Orm's chest, and Orm's like,
thank you.
He takes it, and then he just kind of like had that manly nod of acknowledgement. Yeah.
I was like, oh okay, that's cool. I like that. Because I thought if they do the turn, well, not late, but yeah, if they do, I'm like, that's a bit cheap. So, all right.
Yeah.
So then, so they're fighting their way to the throne room, where Black Manta already is, and he's about to kill Child.
Yeah. He's like, round the park. Even though that's his name, right? Yeah. Round the park, hand me the kid.
Yeah, which is in a bag. Like, one, you should know that you don't put kids in bags. I mean, that's what I understood. I was like, you're an idiot for this bit. So then Round the Park gives him the bag and runs off, and Black Manta thinks nothing of it. So he walks a bit further and opens it, and then he realizes it's a bomb, and he tries to throw it away, and it blows up.
Yeah.
But obviously it doesn't affect him because he's Super Manta at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then he tries to run with the baby, and Black Manta's like, no, you ain't going nowhere. So then he takes the baby off him.
Yeah.
And does something to him. And then he's about to kill baby.
Yeah.
But before that, Aquaman and that, they fight off all the zombie whatever Atlantean people there.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna say, like they're looking like Hella's minions. I have to say that, right?
Yeah.
Hella's minions on the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah. So then they kind of stop them from getting in, and then Aquaman sees Black Manta about to murder his child.
No. What, just before that. So now we have to wrap around to the thing that happened earlier. The kid's crying, right? And he's sending this signal.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And Aquaman's like, it hits Aquaman's mind, the telepathic, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna, Batman's about to shank the kid. Aquaman's like, no. Yeah.
Oh, we also forgot another bit.
Go on.
What might be happening now? Where we go way back before their plan of like how to get to this place, and they're like, well, we can't really get that close because Black Manta's got some supersonic wave that hits that plays with their brain and throws them off, whatever. And then Aquaman's like, okay, so what if we counted that with another noise?
Yeah.
And they're like, what? He goes, leave it to me. So then, he uses his. So is this before or after? Well, anyway.
Well, this is before. I think because Black Manta had his submarine or whatever we want to call it, right?
Yeah.
As to block their entrance.
Yeah.
To the kingdom, right?
Yeah.
So Aquaman gets all the fishes.
Yeah.
The orcas,
the whales, everything, and they do their their supersonic waves at the bad guys' supersonic generator, which nullifies that and makes it explode, and it blows up.
Yeah.
Most of those people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that was good. Yeah. And then so Aquaman's son calls him through thingy waves, and then they start fighting, which this fight looked pretty cool in my opinion. Like, oh, cool. Sliding knees, both using their tridents. That's quite awesome.
Yep. Orm comes in there to help as well.
Yeah.
And okay, this is what I thought, right? And I thought, okay, this is gonna get real crazy if this happens, but it didn't happen. But right, so I thought Orm, because Orm touched the trident, and then he's like starting to turn evil. So I was like, okay, so David Kane's detached from the trident, but he's still enhanced. Yeah. Aquaman's there being Aquaman, and Orm's there getting possessed. So it's gonna be a triple threat match, right?
Yeah.
Because they all have reasons to go in. Well, not kill each other, but they all have their reasons, right? For the opposition. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because Orm wants the kingdom back, and he's getting really poisoned into that. Aquaman needs to take down David Kane, but he needs to take down a possessed, or like get the trident of possessed Orm, and David Kane hates both of these guys, so he's gonna, And then I thought, okay, is the entity because they were going about the entity that he was breaking out the ice shell as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, is this going to be a fatal 4-way?
But then we also forgot about. I think there's a bit where just before that, when Aquaman and Black Manta are fighting, and he kind of like choke slams him on the pillar where the blood needs to be.
Oh yeah.
And that's how
choke slams him onto the pillar, back fists him.
Yeah.
So his blood spits out of his face.
Yeah.
And then that's when the king starts rising from his thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Mira. That's it. And then Mira trying to run away with baby. And that's when he throws the dark trident.
Yeah, at Mira, and I was like, all right, so is this where she dies?
Yeah, Sam was like, is this where she dies? But then Aurum catches it and he tells her, run.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the way they shoot is, the trident, she spins around and the trident freezes in midair, well, goes slow motion in midair.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh no, we're about to see
death.
We're about to see like Martha Wayne get shot in the face with the pearls, right?
Yeah, basically,
yeah. With the pearl necklace. Whoa, that sounds even worse. Hold on a minute, yeah? Let me just start again. The bullet that shot Martha Wayne, like when Zack Snyder shot it, so he looked like he was going to destroy her face. Anyways, yeah, but then they spin the camera a little bit, and you see Orm's holding the trident. He's telling her to get out of there.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. So that's all of that, right? So Black Manta is
depowered.
He was doing fine for himself, and then when the powers got depleted off him, because Orm's holding the trident now. Aquaman's like just he gets sent flying to the side, right?
Yeah.
And then Aquaman's like distracted by Orm because Orm's like, oh yes, I have the power now. I'm gonna have it up because that's how it is, right?
Yeah.
And then then David King tries to run with him and sucker punch Aquaman, right? Yeah, and he's like, Aquaman catches this punch. Catches this punch and just sends him flying back and is like, all right. We both grabbed the trident, right? And because he's had to try and get a form because the evil ghost whatever thing is actually starting to break out of the ice.
Yeah.
And onto his throne. Once he gets the trident back, it's game over. So Orm's like, I have the power to I can kill you and take my kingdom back. And then Aquaman's like, I've hated you all my life, blah blah blah, whatever, right? And then Orm's like spitting all other hard truths at him.
Yeah.
And then Aquaman has the flashback of the power of friendship, right? The power of love, the power of family.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, he sees the flashback of when he first met Orm, and he's like, I always wanted to have a brother. To talk about stuff.
Alone. Yeah,
exactly. And then, but Orm's like still like, oh, you took my kingdom mode.
Yeah,
you embarrassed me in front of my people.
It's like, I didn't want it.
And then, but Arthur's like, no, at the end of the day, we're brothers, man.
Yeah, no matter what, we're brothers. I always. And
he's like, Orm, let it go, let it go, and we can finish this and save the world together. And so Orm's like. He doesn't want to let go, but he does.
Yeah. The power of friendship.
Yeah. And so then Arthur gets that trident and he throws it at the evil king.
Yeah.
And the evil king catches it.
He's like, no, how can you can't kill with my own trident. You must be silly.
Yeah. So then Orm picks up Arthur's trident, says Arthur, right? Throws it towards him, and then Arthur throws the trident through the back of that trident and kills the king.
Yeah,
right?
Which was
I personally, by the way, would have preferred Orm picking up the trident and just throwing it, because it would have made a bit more sense in my logic, right? First of all, it's quicker, right? So you don't have the time wasting of throwing it to the guy who will throw it anyways. But secondly, he's like, Arthur saved him from being possessed by the evil whatever, right?
Yeah,
it's his turn to save Arthur. By doing that instead,
that made more sense. Yeah.
That would have just been like, it would have been more rock solid, bros.
Yeah, and it would have been less time wasted, if you know what I mean. Yeah, like you said, yeah.
So that's that king. That's that dealt with, right? And then Black Manta's just holding, like the kingdom's falling apart. Yeah. Black Manta's holding like the cliff edge.
Yeah, because he falls through the ground. Yeah.
And then and then Arthur's looking at him, Arthur just crouches down with the trident, and he's like, he puts his hand out,
Yeah.
and then David Cage basically he's like, essentially he doesn't actually do it, but essentially he's reached this for Arthur with his one hand and turns it into a middle finger.
He basically did.
He doesn't do it in the movie in the movie, but the way he's like, he looks at me and goes, never. And then he just takes the drop instead. Essentially, yeah, that's what he did.
The reference, what came to my head when he did is, he did the Fist of North Star. I won't die by your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. And so then
I get it.
Yeah. Then the Aqua Bros get out of the kingdom, right? And they're at the top of
why
the
they're leaving though? What's his face? Aurum picks up Dolph Lundgren's trident.
Yeah,
of leadership.
Yeah. And they're on the iceberg and they go, yeah.
So like, we saved the day, everyone. Yay, that's cool. And then it's like, Aurum, we got to take you. Basically, everyone forgives Aurum. It's like, what? Maybe what you was doing in the first film wasn't actually bad. You was just trying to look after your kingdom. You didn't really do anything too,
Well,
insane.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of had no hubris. The thing is, the only thing you did wrong was not allow yourself to have hubris.
Yeah.
Because he's like, he's admitted his faults to Arthur. He's like, look, Arthur, I know you're probably doing it not as bad as you think. I mean, that's what was happening to me when I was king. The thing is, you're a better king because you're willing to ask for help and you're willing to do things outside of what you should be doing.
Yeah.
But it is what is correct and not what's maybe politically correct.
Yeah.
And he goes, look, I gotta go back to my prison now.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what? It's a shame. I mean, you would be going back to your prison, but it's a shame we could not find your body between all the masses of dead people down there.
Say you died, and your body in the ice. No one. It'll take forever to find you. So And he's like, wait, what?
yeah. But then Dolph Lundgren just nods at him, and he's like, all right, I'll take my leave. Yeah. I ain't gonna question nothing.
Like, lay low, for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Well, people find him eventually, but okay, sure. Yeah, and then he jumps in the river. Basically said like, thank you to everyone. And then jumps to the river. No, jumps to the sea. Yeah. And then never to be seen again.
Well, yeah, until the end credits and the end credits, right?
For the people in Atlantis who's never to be seen again. Yeah.
So Aquaman's like, all right, well, now I'm king.
He's like, now we're king. I'm king. I need to kind of explain to the Earth or the humans what actually happened. Because we got to combine our resources to fix all the damage that's been done by one guy. You can't hit a whole bunch of people just because one guy was going a bit nutty, right? And then he's like, yep. So we're gonna have an emissary to go to Earth. Not Earth. We'll talk about the surface world. Even though at this point they probably should know that Aquaman's from Atlantis because he's with the Justice League. But to be fair, they might just think he's a metahuman. I don't know that he's.
Oh, yeah, it's true. So he does the ending of Black Panther and the ending of Iron Man.
Yeah, all put into one. Yeah, it's like
yeah. It's like, Atlantis is real. We're gonna share our technology with you. My name is Arthur Curry. I'm the king of Atlantis. I am Aquaman. Dun 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 dun. Doesn't really do that.
Aquaman.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, he gets the mic, goes woo, and then that's how the movie ends.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
And then I was waiting for the Bruce Wayne mid credits because they were saying about that Ben Affleck filmed something for it as Bruce Wayne, and then because this was coming out after the Flash. Oh, it was supposed to come out before. That's why Ben Affleck filmed it, but I think it was meant to come out after.
Yeah.
It did come out after, so they got Michael Keaton to film a part instead. Yeah. And then they scrapped that in completely because this version of the universe is finished. It's done and dusted. So they're You know, it wouldn't make any sense to tease something that would never happen.
Yeah.
So we get the mid credits of Orm ordering his cheeseburger, and then paying with like, but what's it called?
The balloon or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is quite fun.
And the waitress is like, all right, probably because she's like, it's gold, so yeah. I suppose.
More reliable than crypto. Yeah.
Yeah. And be eating the cheeseburger, and he's like, yeah, it tastes pretty good. And then he sees a cockroach, grabs it, puts it in his burger, and starts eating it and nodding his head like, yeah, actually.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah. That was Aquaman.
Yes.
So enjoyable, big, dumb action spectacle. When I say dumb, I don't mean like, you know, stupid and it don't make. What it is like, you know, you don't need to pay too. It's not in depth, right? It's not something like you got to put your hand on your chin and go, right, because of that means that. No. It's just straightforward, you know.
Yeah. It was kind of like bummed that, you know, there'll be no more going forward.
Well, yeah. And like I said, though, like you, so I was saying is, oh yeah, so Jason Momoa as Lobo, okay, and you're like, no.
I personally, if he was an Aquaman, I'd be alright with it, but it's a bit too soon.
Yeah, well, we'll see anyways how they're gonna deal with that, the rest of that DC, the DC, not EU, just the DCU now. So yeah.
We'll see.
Fresh slate. I wouldn't call this one a world. Flash seemed to make more sense as a bookend to the series than this. Because I say that only because, like, you know, the worlds collide. It's like big, massive, epic sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
And during the Flash end credits, I think Arthur was, you know, blazing drunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, would that be because his son died? I was trying to put the pieces together before the pieces were together. Yeah. But yeah, his son didn't die. Okay, you glad his son didn't die? That's what you're saying earlier.
I don't know, man. Child death. Yeah.
Would you think that one of the Aqua family should have died?
If there was another one, then I'll say kill one of the children, like the Aqua family. But as you know, there's not going to be another one. Like, kind of like no point.
No, yeah.
Because death will lead into like something else, really, wouldn't it? But if you can't do the death, there's sort of no point in doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you're saying thumbs up ish. You're saying a thumbs up, yeah?
Yeah, I'm saying thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah. I also am saying thumbs up. I recommend, like, yeah. I wouldn't say I was the greatest movie I've ever seen, but I recommend people to watch it for, you know, if you enjoy a good action film, right? A good straightforward action film.
Yeah, watch it. You know, it's just Jason Momoa is always. I can't think of a film I haven't actually really liked him in. So.
Okay.
So I really enjoyed him in this. For the next couple of years, he'll be my Aquaman, if I'm honest.
Even when he becomes Lobo, he's still going to be Aquaman, right?
Yeah, I just don't understand the point of that. But hey, you know.
Cool.
We'll see.
All right.
We'll see. But yeah, 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Go see it if you can.
Yeah. All right. That will conclude us for our review of Aquaman then in that and the Lost Kingdom.
Yes. Also, I was going to say as well. Yeah, I really liked Orm as well. I like.
Yeah, he. I don't think he was super heelish in the first movie. That you couldn't have turned him back. It was a bit like, you know, the John Walker thing where. Yeah. It's like in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Well, I think me and you were always like he's gonna make the turn. Well, it's not. He's gonna go full tweener and then turn.
Yeah.
One way or the other, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't think they wrote him so bad that he could never turn back.
Like
a bit like
like if he murdered loads of people, like if he did genocide in the first film, then like ooh, you can't really, you can come back from that, but it won't be as easy. Like,
have you ever
kind of like with Loki?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like, his redemption took a while, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he redeemed himself and died. So
yeah. Have you ever seen Now You See Me?
yes.
You've seen Now You See Me too as well, right?
Bits and pieces of it, yeah.
Yeah. So Morgan Freeman was a debunker in the first movie, yeah?
Yeah.
And in the second movie, he was working with the team all along. It's like, what?
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the twist in the second one.
Yeah, because Harry Potter, David Radcliffe is the truth, like the actual. It's like what, yeah, what,
okay.
yeah. But no, like that's why I was like, that, you know, he never did that like that, right? Where it's like all he did was what he was thought he was right by the kingdom, which
is
justifiable, non-justifiable is here or there or the you know, but
he's doing the job.
Yeah,
that he was. I was gonna say born.
That he believed, right?
Yeah,
but not to the extreme, you know.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So, looking forward to the new DCU, or are you gonna see trailer, get some information on it, and then see? Yeah, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing so far, new DCU, which I'm kind of like interested in, and also trying to figure out how they're gonna refit this in it, is Peacemaker.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, because apparently that's part of it. So,
and Amanda Waller, so that means some stuff happened and some things don't happen. So we'll have to see what they should have just fresh slated everything. You know that they could have just said. Yeah,
or did something.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they could have used Flashpoint as like the reset thing, but then how that kind of ended, it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah.
And then the whole Blue Beetle actor is part of it, but the film we don't actually know. Yeah. That's where it gets a bit weird. And the same for Aquaman, like we don't know at the moment where Aquaman lies on it.
Yeah. Right. If indeed Aquaman is, but whatever.
Yeah, you don't even said that because that film was too much. It already like been filmed and stuff, so it's like it can't sort of like.
Yeah, they pumped enough money into it. They couldn't really
say, "Oh yeah, this film ain't gonna matter." So.
Yeah. Because that's look what happened to Flash.
Yeah.
And Shazam.
Yeah, exactly. When you kind of found out them films ain't gonna matter, hence why people didn't go and see it. Hence why them films bombed. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you lies like, you know, they're going to be in the new universe. Even though Shazam, you easily could have done it in the new one because that film is so detached from everything else in the DCEU.
Yeah.
You could have easily just retrofitted that in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, literally, the only thing that you could say connected it was Wonder Woman. And apparently she's going to be Wonder Woman anyway. You know what I mean? So it's... Yeah, you could have easily just said, Shazam's part of the new one. But whatever, I guess. DC gone DC. Yeah. No, Warner DC. Warner Brothers on a Warner Brother.
Yeah, exactly.
So 2 thumbs up. Aquaman's cool. Yeah. Long live Jason Momoa.
Yeah. All right.
Oh gosh.
Yep. So I'm the entity in the Black Trident that tries to possess anyone that touches me, CY Chung.
And I am the Crab Man who took 4 years for my arm to grow back just for it to get cut off again.
Yeah.
That was funny as well. Yeah, I forgot to mention that bit. Yeah. And thank you for listening to us review Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Kingdom. And if you've seen it, let us know what you think of it. Did you enjoy it? Are you sad that the Aquaman won't be a part of the DCU going forward, or should he be, rather than him, Jason Momoa playing Lobo? Which good choice,
may
but
not be happening, right?
Yeah, good choice, but yes, let us know, and you can do that by leaving us a comment in the comment section down below if you're watching on YouTube, or you can send us a tweet a Instagram message, comment, all that lovely stuff, and you can find our social media handles in the description part of the podcast. And if you're listening to this on a podcasting app, please leave us a review. That'd be great. And until next time, guys, I'd like to thank you all for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.